Hello everyone, and welcome back to Killer Shrew Fans Killer Toy Reviews, and today we're going to be taking a look at this, Mattel's new Control and Conquer Carnotaurus Toro from the upcoming Netflix animated series Camp Cretaceous. It's been a while since I posted a Mattel review, so today we are getting back on track. A lot of new Mattel stuff has actually been trickling out, and I got this one from Walmart.com just the other day. I will put a link in the description so that if by the end of this video you are feeling like adding this bull to your collection, you can do so. Tell them Killer Shrew Fans sent ya. Now, I might be disappointing a lot of people right out of the gate by letting you all know that this will not be a full unboxing review. I have not decided if I want to keep this one in the packaging or let it free, and I'll be darned if I'm going to be ordering in a second at retail right now. So with that being said, this is going to be one of those reviews where I just kind of talk about the figure based on what I can see with it in the box. If that's not really your thing and you are wanting an unboxing, I hate to let you down, but I just don't know if I want this one out of the box right now. But fair warning out of the way, let's talk about this Carnotaurus. The first thing I gotta talk about is the packaging, because that's really the only 100% new element of this Carnotaurus besides the paint job. I absolutely love the box art on this thing. The amber backdrop featuring what we assume to be the locations of Camp Cretaceous is so inviting. There's a hypnotic feel to it that pulls you into the world, with its Isla Sorna-style redwoods, treehouse, visitor center, and trail. The palette is so rich and pleasing, and it all frames the dinosaur beautifully. I really hope that the show has this lovely style to its environments. That would really make this box art feel like a moment in time from Camp Cretaceous displayed in toy form. It would be great. Getting into some specifics, the Jurassic World Camp Cretaceous logo is there in the top left corner with a mix of Jurassic World and Jurassic Park aesthetics, and it looks great. Below that, you have got the Primal Attack logo as well as a diagram of the action features. Running across the bottom is the title of the toy in question, the Control and Conquer Carnotaurus Toro, and in the bottom right corner you have got the stars of the show, the three children, and Toro herself. Something worth noting here is that Toro has a much more cartoonish appearance. That isn't to say she looks bad, the detail is still very realistic, but the render here has a much more animated feel, which sort of softens the disconnect in style between the human characters and Toro, a big concern I had a while back when we first saw the box art in person. Don't get me wrong, there's still a distinct disparity, but it is better here, and I'm much less concerned for the series now that I've seen these renders in person. The box also features several push-button indicators showcasing the action features, and yeah, there's a nice look at the backdrop. I really dig it. The back of the box is more or less the same thing we have seen on all of Mattel's packaging, with the blue sort of computer wireframe behind a diagram of the toy in action. We once again have a diagram promising extreme thrashing action, and you can see this figure does come with the Camp Cretaceous maze and stickers. I don't know, not as exciting as a collector card if you ask me, but it's something for the kids all the same. Here's a better look at the action diagram for Toro with mega chomping action and roaring sound effects. If you can't get excited by that, you're nuts. In the bottom right corner, we are reminded of other dinosaurs available alongside Toro, the Sarcosuchus, not technically a dinosaur, and Tarbosaurus massive biters. I've already reviewed the Sarco on the channel, so if you're interested, I'll link you to that review below. Spoiler alert, I don't like it. But let's talk Toro. As usual, Mattel's sculpture of the Carnotaurus is on point. There's a ton of great detail in that head, with scales, bumps, striations, and individually sculpted teeth. The eyes are done in a yellow and seem to be pretty spot on in terms of application on both sides, which is good. The one thing that most can agree on is that Toro's signature scar looks absolutely stupid on this model. It looks like a kid drew it on with crayon. The cartoon version looks better than this. Come on! Could they not have used a darker red, or at least added some extra tissue to raise it off the face and make it look like an actual scar instead of a massive and horrendous paint mistake? It's awful! I guess when it comes to making these battle damage elements, Mattel has more often than not struggled. All of their smaller battle damage critters have this horrible crayon red for their wounds. Maybe they don't want to gross out the kids by making it too realistic, but come on! They had a Spinosaurus that literally gushed blood back during the holidays. Is a more realistic red for the wounds really too much to ask for? Yeah, it's a horrendous and cheap detail on an otherwise nicely painted model, but if you take it out of the box, I suppose you can just display it from the opposite side. At least there are no screw holes to worry about. Taking a look at the rest of the model, the detail is all great. There are scales, folds of skin, scoots, ridges, wrinkles, the whole enchilada. I love the arms on Mattel's Carno. They do a good job with those. They actually look more accurate than the movie version, which is great. But yeah, if you're a fan of Mattel for their sculptural details, this is one to satisfy. I don't know why I'm taking the time to talk about it. It is the same sculpture as the Primal Attack Carno, which I'm sure we've all seen before, so I'm sure the details come as no surprise. The action features on this toy are a lot of fun. You grip the tail and use it to thrash the head from side to side or up and down, all while pushing a button that gives you movie-accurate sounds. When I heard this was going to be electronic, I was genuinely worried. Mattel's track record for getting sounds right in their toys is mixed at best. I was fully expecting at least one T-Rex roar in here, but surprise, surprise, it's all film-accurate Carnotaurus sounds. That is great! I love the Carno roars in Fallen Kingdom. Too bad Mattel can't get their act together for the other electronic dinos. Now, the action features are the same as on the previous Control & Conquer Carno, but the real reason to even get this version of the Carnotaurus is the paint job. It's the most film accurate to date. I don't know why it took them 3 tries to do it, but it is the most compelling element of this particular offering. The brownish red and purplish brown spots are really well applied, and the gray underbelly has a nice transition to the midsection. The pattern doesn't go all the way down the tail, but it tapers off in an appealing manner, so that's good at least. The only problem with the paint scheme is that scar. But yeah, if you've been holding off on a Carnotaurus hoping for one that looks more accurate, this is the one for you. Unfortunately, it does suffer from some proportion issues. The whole thing was blown up to accommodate the action features and sound box, making it measure in at 15.5 inches long, or about 39.5 centimeters, and about 7.5 inches tall, or 19.5 centimeters. That is a full inch longer than the original, but only marginally taller. I honestly thought the Action Attack Carno was a bit big to be in scale with the 3 3/4 inch line, but now it got even bigger. To add insult to injury, the proportions just went downhill. The tail looks too stubby for the massive body, and the head looks huge. It's kind of a mess, especially when compared to the Action Attack Carno that came before it. That one nailed the proportions, I feel, and I really wish Mattel had managed to keep their sound version on the smaller side. When compared to the likes of the Attack Pack Velociraptor, I guess it's not bad. This does seem sensible, I will say. I'll also go ahead and bring in the recently reviewed Soundstrike Edmontosaurus, and we all know that that animal is too small anyway, but hopefully this gives you an idea of the size of the Control & Conquer Carnotaurus mold if for some reason you haven't seen it. I wanted to compare it to the Thrash and Throw, which is supposed to represent the film's T-Rex, but I couldn't get a nice view of that on camera. Just know it's way too big compared to the Rex. For an interesting comparison, I decided to go ahead and bring in Maisie. Why Maisie? Well, Camp Cretaceous is supposed to feature children characters, and since this is the only child figure we have gotten from Mattel, I wanted to see how the kids stack up to the Carno. I will say, not bad. Maybe if they establish in the show that Toro is big for her kind, then this whole scale issue will be addressed. And now for the comparison that must be made, here is Toro next to the original Primal Attack Control & Conquer Carnotaurus, and you will see that I haven't unboxed that one either. I was originally thinking as soon as I got Toro that I would open one or the other, but I just love how both of them look in their boxes too much. But which of these Carnos is better? Aesthetically speaking, Toro takes the cake for her film accuracy, and honestly, I wish we had gotten her first. It really makes the last Carno seem like a moot point by following up with something more pleasing to look at. Now the Primal Attack offering just feels like an unnecessary filler between releases, which is kind of annoying. I mean, you know me, I love Carnotaurus, I would have gotten both either way, but, you know. Something I do need to talk about that I wish I didn't is the build quality. This is another reason I wish Toro came first. On the original Primal Attack offering, the action feature has some resistance to it. I have to use a little force to push it up and down. It's fluid, but there's enough stiffness there to make me feel like the joints aren't going to wear out. Meanwhile, on this later version, the joints are very loose and the motion happens very fast and with very little effort, leading me to believe that the build quality has decreased. It's not something I can really show you, you have to feel them side by side in person. Now bear in mind this could be just the luck of the draw with the one I got, but it is something to watch out for. It's not awful by any means, but it is noticeable enough for me to feel I had to comment on it, if that gives you any idea. I guess I would be lying if I said the build of the original was pitch perfect. When I shake it, it does rattle around a bit, but Toro is even worse in that regard. Listen to that. Really makes you wonder if Mattel cheaped out on this new run of Primal Attack Carnos. If that's the case, then yeah, I definitely do wish Toro had come first. Would have meant that the better looking offering had the better build too. Never had that problem with the original Action Attack Carno, which is still my personal favorite despite the lack of sounds and movie accurate deco. But less moving parts, less stuff there is to break. It does have me hoping Mattel will re-release the Action Attack figure with movie accurate deco down the line. With all that in mind, do I think this new Primal Attack Carno should have a place in your collection? I mean, if you're a fan of the species and you like the movie version, then I suppose there's no harm in adding another Carno to the collection. True, it does have the most accurate paint scheme, but the size and proportions are still off, which kind of undermines its screen accuracy. That and the scar is so bad and distracting that Mattel might as well have just not done it to begin with. Honestly, if screen accuracy is something you're very keen on, I'd say it's better to just wait and hope Mattel revamp the Action Attack Carno in an accurate color scheme. Let's be honest, I'm sure they will. The make may have suffered a bit with this one as well, so if you're going to buy it, I recommend waiting till it hits shelves rather than ordering it so you can see how it holds up in person. I don't know, maybe I just got a bad one, I hope that's the case, and if it is, be sure to let me know. So all of that being said, I truly think that if you already have the Primal Attack Carnotaurus, there's really no reason to add this one to the collection, unless you're a die-hard fan and or completist like myself. I mean, we've already been given a model with this great detail and these fun action gimmicks, so if all you're really getting for another $25 with this piece is a better paint job, then I really do think it's safe to at least wait until this one goes on to clearance. It's pretty clear that this is going to be the one that replaces the original for the foreseeable future, so I wouldn't be surprised if it becomes a shelf warmer and gets knocked down in price in the coming months. If the paint job is something you simply must have, then I won't try and stop you. I just don't think there's any harm in waiting for a discount on a figure that is clearly a discount dino. If I wasn't such a diehard Carno fan, I would probably return it and play the waiting game myself. I know this review was kind of all over the place, should you get it, should you not, and it wasn't even a full review, so if I've left any of you confused, then I do apologize. Just as a final takeaway, if you haven't bought a Carnotaurus yet, then I suppose this one is worth starting on, but only if you can make sure it's a good one in person. But anyway, guys and gals, that is going to do it for my wishy-washy review of the new Primal Attack Carnotaurus Toro. Leave a comment down below letting me know what you think of this new figure from Mattel, and as always, thank you so much for tuning in today. Like I said earlier, Mattel's new stuff has begun hitting shelves, and once I get my hands on those figures, I will be doing some more Jurassic reviews. Hope to see you back for the next one. Take care out there, and bye-bye.